Hello friends, welcome to Learning Sessions, and today in this video we are going to discuss about the debit cards and credit cards. That's an important theoretical topic from the module B of RBWM, and if you want to get all the videos of RBWM, do subscribe to our channel right now and press the bell notification icon so that you get updated whensoever we upload the new videos. The full course of RBWM along with all the other papers is available on our website jaiib.learningsessions.in. Link is available in description box below, and also on simple sign up over there you will be getting access to all the PDFs for free of cost. So do sign up over there right now and start preparing for the same. So let's start the session over here, and it's related to the credit cards and the debit cards. First of all, it's related to the plastic money. Now plastic money is actually related to what we're talking about, the debit cards and credit cards, which are basically used for the electronic form of transactions over there. So we are having the debit card, we are having the credit card, we are having the prepaid cards over there. So debit card means what? That whatsoever is mentioned, or particularly the balance in their account, only that thing you can be utilizing for online payment purposes, for withdrawal of the cash purposes. And credit card means what? That you will be getting a credit limit, that will be getting a loan limit with you, which you can be utilizing for the purpose of payments over there, right? That's a credit card. And in case of prepaid card, it's related to a disposable card we are talking about in general, where you can be loading the money into it and further can be using it for different purposes, right? So that's about in general about all these three cards over there. Now let's discuss the credit card in detail, right? Now the credit card actually does allow the credit facility to the customers, where the customers can be borrowing the funds. They are not having the funds in their account, they are given a credit line, they are given a credit limit over there, or credit line over there. Let's say case that you are given a credit limit of rupees 1 lakh. Now you can be spending up to rupees 1 lakh, and further, let's say case the billing cycle was up to the last day of the month, and on the 1st of January the bill will be generated, and there will be two amounts which will be mentioned. One, it's related to overall outstanding amount. So let's say case you spent rupees 70,000, the overall spending amount that will be mentioned over there. And also there will be mentioned, let's say MAD, that is a minimum amount due, let's say 3,500 rupees. That's about almost 5% of the total outstanding amount that's mentioned over there. Now you basically are indebted by rupees 70,000 rupees to the credit card company, but you may also be paying just rupees 3,500 rupees for now, and the other balance, the finance charges will be applicable, and you are to repay them back along with that particular interest rate, right? That's the case related to the credit card. So credit card says buy now, pay later. Right now you need not to pay anything. After the particular period you can pay the amount, or alternatively you can be paying the full amount over there. Now that will be particularly interest free period that will be given to you, that is actually ranging from 20 days to 50 days depending upon card to card company and the different scenarios over there. And you, if you're repaying the same amount in that particular interest free period, you won't be charged anything and still can be using it for the next purpose or next particular transaction over there, right? So credit cards are actually issued with the limits of usage, which is set to be the credit limit over there, and there is the upper credit limit that you can be spending maximum up to this amount only. And so as to induce the usage of the cards, the reward points are given. Let's say case you are having a platinum card, and for each spending of rupees 100 you'll be getting 10 points over there, 10 reward points, and later on you can be using these reward points to get the cash benefits, or basically so as to purchase something online over there. And also the concept of cashback offer is here, like you, if you'll be making the purchase, let's say case if I'll be purchasing the iPhone using the HDFC credit card, I'll be getting rupees 5,000 as cashback over there. Now why this particular thing is here? Because they want you to use the card for the transaction purposes over there, and further the payment can be made in full on or before the due date over there. So either you have to pay the full amount, or you can pay the minimum amount due, that's almost 5% to 10% of the total outstanding amount over there. And further, if you're paying the amount late, if let's say case the due date was 12th of the March, but you made the payment let's say after that particular period, in that scenario the fee may be charged, and that can be ranging from rupees 200 to rupees 500 over there, right? Now let's understand the different types of parties which are involved. First of all, it's related to the consumer, that is a customer, that is a card holder who is having the credit card with him, who is actually allotted a credit card by the credit card company or by a financial institution which is having a credit limit associated with the same. The second one, it's related to retailer or merchant. Let's take the scenario that person A is here and particularly he's a card holder. Now he visited a retail store. Let's say he visited a merchant or let's say a grocery shop where he made some purchase and he made the payment, right? Now the merchant will be associated with the acquiring bank. Merchant will be associated with the acquiring bank. Now whenever the transaction will be initiated, now it will be routed through the POS machine to the acquiring bank over there. So here we are having the acquiring bank, and particularly through acquiring bank, this transaction will be routed to the network over there. Network, like we are having the RuPay or Visa or MasterCard or Maestro, American Express. These are the different networks, right? So in the network, the transaction will be authenticated, the balance will be checked, the limit will be checked, if the card is blocked or not, that will be checked, each and everything will be checked, and further response will be given, and further the account will be updated. That if the account was to be debited, the account will be debited, and further the response will be given back to the acquiring bank and through the acquiring bank to the merchant over there, and the receipt, if the transaction was particularly accepted, the receipt will be printed, and particularly if the transaction is declined, then the message will be delivered that the particular transaction was declined over there. So that is actually related to the different particular concepts. And other than that, we are also having in picture the issuing bank. Now issuing bank is actually the bank who has actually issued the credit card to the customer actually, and further they are maintaining the account of the customer over there, right? And after that, it's related to the process. Now let's understand the process over there. So customer presents the credit card for the payment purposes. That's the first step. Retailer will be accepting the credit card and further will be initiating the transaction. Now the acquiring bank, once the retailer receives a credit card information, the customer, they need to send the data to the acquiring bank. Now the merchant will be sending the data to the acquiring bank over there, and through the acquiring bank, the data will be sent to the clearing network that is related to RuPay or particularly Visa or MasterCard, etc. And through the clearing network, the data will be, the transaction details will be forwarded to the issuing bank over there, where each and everything will be checked and authenticated, and the transaction will be authorized. Related to the different checks are there, like if the transaction is either approved or it is unapproved over there. That's the process. And further, the last process is related to the transaction settlement over there that will be made, right? So this is a step that we have to follow in the case of transactions to be made by the credit card over there. Now let's understand the different types of credit card. One of it's related to proprietary credit card, where a bank is particularly issuing a credit card of its own. Like in the case of this particular card, ICICI Bank is actually issuing the card of its own, and for particularly the network over here is Visa network over there, right? So on this particular card, only one brand is there. That's the name of the bank who's issuing the card. That's a ICICI Bank over there. So it's a proprietary card. We say it to be the proprietary card over there, right? The other one, it's related to the co-branded card. Now along with the bank name, that is a Citibank, we are also having the name of the Jet Airways over here, which is another brand. So it's a co-branded card over there, but ultimate liability is with the Citibank only, who is actually issuing the card, and not with the Jet Airways. So the banks or the card issue companies must be aware of their tie-ups with the companies over there, right? So these basically cards can be bearing the logo, the name, or both of the financial institution and the partner brand over there, right? After that, it's related to, let's have a look at the card issuing process. So the first step over here, it's related to obtaining the application. Now the application will be obtained from the applicant over there. The prospective card holder will be filling out all the details related to the application form and will be submitting the required documents along with that same, and those particular documents will be processed, like the verification of the documents, review of the application will be completeness over there, and further after that, the company, the credit card issuing company, will be analyzing the credit score over there, so as to check the credit worthiness of the borrower over there, and based upon that, the credit card company will be coming upon a decision that what type of card can be issued to the customer, and further they will also be deciding that what credit limit will be given to the customer over there. So decision on the same will be given, and further based upon that, they will be issuing a credit card and the PIN along with it, and they will be dispatching the same card, and further acknowledgement of the receipt will be taken, and after that the pin number, it may be a green pin which is to be generated, or it may be an automated pin which will be generated through the registered mobile number, or something process can be followed, and after that the card operations can be started. So the card holder can now activate the card by following the provided instructions over there, and the card holder can be starting using the card over there, right? So that's the process, right? After that, what are the different documents are required? You do require the identity proofs, you do require the address proof, you do require the income proof, you do require the colored photographs, and last 3 bank month statement is actually also required. For the income proof, we can go for the latest IT returns, we can go for the form 16, we can go for the salary slips over there from the government or PSU employees over there. If we talk about the identity proof and PSU's, OVDs can be accepted, right, as particularly available, and color photographs are to be taken. And further, it's related to eligible for credit card. Now, if you're basically aged 18 or above, you're eligible for the same. You must be having a good credit history with you. You should not be a defaulter, and further, you must be having a regular source of income with you. In that scenario, you will be eligible for the credit card. Further, let's understand the different important terms which are used when we are actually seeking for credit card over there. It's first of all related to joining fees and annual fees. Let's say case basically you received a telecall related to basically a credit card is being offered to you, and further they say if you basically get this particular card, there is a fees of rupees 5,000 per year which is associated, and you have to spend rupees 5,000 every year. You have to basically spend rupees 5,000 every year so as to maintain. So that's actually related to what, that's a joining fees. So whensoever you will be joining, so it's related, you have to pay that particular fees, and it may also be annual fees. That each and every year this amount is to be paid. It may be a annual fees, and other than that, it is related to that generally what banks do as a standard process, so as to basically lure the customer, they give lifetime free access to the card holders over there, and this is as per the marketing strategy of the issue, right? And after that, it's related to the finance charges. Now let's say case that you were given a credit card limit of rupees 1 lakh and you spent rupees 70,000, but you don't have having that much money to repay the full amount, and you paid the minimum amount due only. In that scenario, whatsoever the amount that you have not repaid, the finance charges will be applicable, and further those will be divided on the outstanding balance on the card over there. And further, it's related to minimum amount due, that is particularly MAD. MAD is actually the minimum amount due, that is actually ranging from 5% to 10% of the total amount due, total outstanding balance, right? So when the bill will be generated, it's not the case that you have to pay the full amount, but it may also be the case that you can be paying 5 to 10% of the outstanding amount, and further whatsoever the outstanding amount will be there after paying the MAD, in that scenario the finance charges will be applicable on the same, and it is basically calculated as adding the new debits of the month and previously unpaid payments and the other charges, like whatsoever the new debits were there, or whatsoever the last month's unpaid balances were there, those will be added up and further will be calculated based upon the same, right? And after that, it's related to interest free period. Now interest free period is actually ranging from 20 to 50 days based upon different card issue companies over there, and for the during this period no interest will be charged, and for the you'll be getting an opportunity to says to repay the full amount, and further you'll be charged nothing during this particular period, right? And further, it's related to annualized percentage rate over there. Let's say the case the total interest rate of 60% is being charged on the particular credit card over there, right? Now definitely it's a very very hefty amount of interest rate that is being charged over there. Now definitely consumers will be resisting so as to go for this much particular charge over there. So what does bank indicate? Banks previously indicated like 5% per month. They indicated 5% per month. Now 5% seems to be less, but the annualized percentage rate is actually much more enough over there. So there is a standard Reserve Bank of India guideline now that the banks are to indicate the APR rather than basically showcasing the 5% per month, so as to basically so as to lure the customers that the lesser rate of interest is being charged. The actual condition or actual picture is to be shown to the customers over there. Further, it's related to other charges or penalties which are being there, like it can be the cash advance transaction fee. Like basically the credit card also does allow you that you can be doing a cash transaction, you can be withdrawing the amount. Now in that scenario also, for every cash withdrawal amount there will be a fee which will be applicable, which is 2.5% of the cash amount. And also if you're going to replace your card, or your card is lost, stolen or reissue, other charges are applicable, which may be 100 and 250 depending upon the card over there. And also if your amount is overdue or the late payment fee is there, in that scenario also the 15% of the total amount due, the fee overdue penalty is charged over there, and also a fixed penalty fee of rupees 350 to rupees 750 is being charged. And over limit penalty, like your limit was actually let's say 1 lakh rupees, but your overall amount particularly overall amount, that let's say 70,000 was your previous amount that was overdue, and also the interest was charged on the same, and also the new debits were there, and the total amount basically exceeded rupees 1 lakh, that is over limit penalty, that can be rupees 600 over there, which can be asked for by the credit card issuing company. Okay, so that's all about it. Now let's understand the PPIs, that is a prepaid payment instruments. Now PPI is also a financial product over there. We basically allows what, which basically allows its users that they can be loading the money into this particular card, right, and further can be using it for different transactions over there, right. That's the case related to PPI. Now there are different types of PPI. First of all, it's related to closed system PPI. Now closed system PPI is actually related to what? Let's take the case that there is a cinema, and further whensoever there is a food court. Let's take the example of food court. You entered a food court and they are not basically accepting the cash payments over there. So when you basically visited the food court, they gave you a card and you were to load a minimum amount of rupees 1000 in it. Okay, you basically loaded rupees 1000 payment into it. Now there were different vendors or different shops over there where you can be using this particular card, right? And further, that's particularly what, that's a closed PPI system over there. Why? Because you cannot be utilizing this card outside this particular area over there or outside the network over there. You can be using in the particular merchant network only and not outside it. That's basically related to what? That's related to the closed PPI. That's related to the closed PPI over there. Other than that, we are having the semi-closed PPI over there. Now semi-closed PPI is related to what? That the same card can be utilized at the different merchants. Not all merchants, but at a different merchants over there. But say at the same case, this card also cannot be used for withdrawal cash purposes, or particularly cannot be used for receiving the cashbacks over there. And further, funds loaded on PPI cannot be withdrawn for withdrawal purposes over there, right? So that's also related to semi-closed PPI. So closed PPI systems and semi-closed PPI systems, they do not allow for cash withdrawals. They do not allow for transactions over there to other merchants over there, right? That's not allowed. Now it's about the open system PPI. Now open system PPIs or prepaid payment instruments are being issued by the banks and often associated with the major payment networks over there, which can be utilized anywhere, and further you can be using these for withdrawal from cash from the ATMs over there, right? These are the benefits which are available in case of open system PPIs, that you can be using it with multiple vendors and all the vendors, right? And further, these are the associated with the giant networks over there, right? Further, it's related to issuing, loading and reloading of PPIs. Now there must be clear lay down policy related to the loading unloading of the PPIs, which must be duly approved by the board of directors over there, related to the issuance of the different type of PPIs, different type of categories of PPIs, and related to the activities of PPIs over there. And PPI issuers must be ensuring that no interest is actually payable on PPI balances, like whatsoever the balances which were loaded into PPI. It's not the case that you can be receiving any kind of interest on that particular PPI balance over there. It's not allowed. And further, the PPI can be loaded or reloaded by cash or by debit to the account over there, by debiting the credit card, by debiting the debit card, or by debiting the other PPIs as permitted from time to time. But that's the only process related to it. You cannot be receiving any interest rate upon the same. And cash loading per month, which is actually capped at rupees 50,000, not more than that, right? And that is actually subject to the overall limit of the particular PPI. Let's say if PPI is allowing maximum cash loading or particular maximum loading of rupees 2,000 only, okay, in that scenario you cannot be loading rupees 50,000, right? And otherwise, if it is allowing in that scenario maximum amount which can be loaded in a month, that is actually restricted to rupees 50,000, not more than that, right? So PPI may be issued as wallets or particular such form of instruments, so which can be used or accessed as PPI over there and for particular related to it, right? Now let's understand the PPIs for cross-border outward transaction. Now, if you're having a KYC compliant, reloadable, semi-closed or open system PPI, which is actually issued to you by the authorized dealer category 1 license, and further which is permissible by the FEMA over there for the other transactions under the foreign exchange over there, for purchase of goods or services, etc., adherence to the other particular guidelines which are given by the FEMA or by the Reserve Bank of India. In that scenario, that is allowed. So I'm just trying to say you that in case of semi-closed and open PPIs, if your that particular account is KYC compliant and is maintained with AD1 and FEMA is allowing the particular transaction, then the usage of PPI can be allowed for cross-border transaction. But let me just tell you, PPI cannot be used for which purposes? PPI shall not be used for cross-border under fund transfer or for making remittances under the LRS scheme over there. That cannot be utilized for remittances under the liberalized remittance scheme over there, right? And also, let me tell you that issuers shall enable the facility of cross-border outward transaction only on expressed request of the PPI holder. Only if the expressed request by the PPI holder will be there, only then the particular cross-border transaction, outward transaction will be allowed. And further, per transaction limit is maximum up to rupees 10,000, while per month limit is maximum up to rupees 50,000 for cross-border transactions. So what are the restrictions? The per transaction limit is 10k, per month transaction limit is 50k, and further must be having KYC compliant account with AD1 and further as per the FEMA guidelines over there, and also on explicit request of the card holder only, and further cannot be used for remittance outside under the LRS scheme over there. So these are the restrictions for the same, right? After that, it's related to smart card. Now, what do you mean by smart? Smart means which can be thinking of its own, which is having a processor of its own, which is having a memory of its own. That's related to a smart card. When I'm saying it's a smart card, it means it's having a smart preprocessor which can be doing some functions of its own, right? So that's related to smart card over there. So smart card is a small sized card which is having a programmable microprocessor chip which can be used for making the payments, for storing the relevant information, right? Now let's have a look at the types of the smart card over there. First of all, it can be used for stored value cards over there, like prepaid cards or value added cards over there. Like we are having a smart card and it's having multiple pockets, that in each pocket it is basically storing a value added card, right? And I can be loading the cash to these particular cards over there, and further can be utilizing it for different purposes over there. That's a stored value cards over there. And also it can be a reloadable card where you can be reloading the funds into a particular card, and it can be noting down that this amount was particularly noted and further this amount has been used and this amount is pending over there. And also it can be disposable card. Now disposable card basically comes with the specific value, and further after once you have used that particular value, it is of no use, you need to discard that particular card over there. And also it can be a contactless smart card, like we're having the near field connectivity cards. In that scenario, Wi-Fi sign is over there, and particularly you just need bring it to the NFC particular module over there and just 2mm or 5mm distance, and when you tap it on there, in that scenario your transaction is all done, right? That's related to contactless smart cards can also be there. For this related to debit card, I already told you the scenario. Debit card is one card which is particularly given to you when you basically open an account with a bank over there, right? In that scenario, whatsoever the amount is actually, whatsoever the balance which is actually associated with your account over there, you can be utilizing that particular balance only and not more than that, right? That's a debit card over there. You can also be using the debit card for ATM withdrawal purposes over there. So mode of issuance of debit card is what? At the time basically a debit card is actually given, it may be given without embossing the name when it is given along with account opening form, and it may also be embossed when it comes after some days, let's say days where your name is embossed and particularly all the information related to you is given to you, right? And second way is after opening the account details are incorporated and further embossed, loaded in the debit card and issued within 2 or 3 weeks of the opening of the account over there. So that can be the scenario. And let's have a look at the RBI guidelines on the issuance of the debit cards. So you must be having a comprehensive board approved policy for the same, that how the cards will be used and further whether you can be issuing the co-branded cards or not, right? And further the debit cards can be issued to the customers who are having the saving fund account or the current accounts, but it cannot be issued in the case of the CC or loan limit accounts. But the cards are issued, these cards are issued in the case of KCC accounts, that is a Kisan credit card accounts. These cards can be issued, right? But banks must be ensuring that whatsoever the guidelines related to the know your customers or anti-money laundering guidelines or combating of financing of terrorism guidelines or PMLA, that is prevention of money laundering guidelines, those are all complied with, and further only after that the cards are being issued, and the bank will be responsible. Let's say if due to any of the malfunction in the infrastructure of the debit card network or something like that, that's particularly within the right control of the bank over there, if anything happens wrong, in that scenario, the bank will be responsible for the same, and the bank will be bearing the direct losses for the same, right? And further, it's related to NPCI. Now, NPCI is actually National Payment Corporation of India, and it's a NPO, that is non-profit organization, and it's providing the infrastructure for the entire banking system in India over there. And who is actually the Karta Dharta of NPCI? RBI and IBA, that is Reserve Bank of India and Indian Banks Association, are the particular two parties which is set up the NPCI over there, and it is providing the infrastructure. It's a backbone of the total electronic payment and settlement system in India over there, and it's a main infrastructure. And PSS 2007, that is actually to Payment and Settlement System Act 2007, was established for NPCI only, right? Now let's understand the card network. Now what is actually card network? Like I told you that we are having the RuPay card network, or particularly Visa card network, MasterCard network. So that's related to it, right? That's a card network. And for the, let's say we are talking about the RuPay card network over there. Now it's an organization which will be facilitating the payment card transaction. Now on one hand we are having the issuing banks. On one bank side we have the issuing banks. Let's say issuing bank issued a card to the customer, and here we have the customer C1 who basically utilized the card on some retail branch over there, that is at some merchant site over there, and this merchant was acquired by some acquiring bank. Some acquiring bank was there. So this is a circle actually. So this is a circle. Okay, so when the customer will be utilizing the card, they will be submitting the details over here, and the retail merchant will be submitting the details that will go to the acquirer over there, that is to the acquiring bank over there, and acquiring bank over there will be passing on this particular transaction details information to the network over there, network like RuPay, Visa, MasterCard, etc. And further from there, the authenticity for checking the authenticity, the transactions details will be forwarded to the issuing bank over again, and the authenticity of the transaction details and all will be checked, and further the confirmation and all things will be given back over here. That's a reverse cycle. Now all the information that will be coming back to the acquire bank, and from the acquire bank to the merchant bank over there, and ultimately if the transaction is authenticated, the transaction will be passed and the account is debited already, and for the good payment of the goods is made, right? So that's a scenario related to it, and hence how this is how the card network is used in the whole transaction part over there, right? So we are having the card network, we are having the issuing bank, we are having the acquiring bank, we are having the customer, we are having the merchants, right? Further after that, it's related to RuPay card. Now RuPay is actually our own network. It's basically Indian domestic card scheme. It's Indian domestic card scheme which is conceived and particularly launched by NPCI, and it was launched in 26 March 2012 over there. If we look at the products of the same, we are having the debit cards, we are having the RuPay Classic, we are having the RuPay Platinum. We talk about the basic card, it's basically the standard basic RuPay card, and for that it's a RuPay Classic over there, which basically offers the minimum features, like you can be using it for the different merchant offers over there, and it does not comes with the benefit of the airport lounge access. Now these days you can see that with the cards you can get the free airport lounge access over there. It's a freebie actually is given to you, that's so that it induces the usage of the cards, right? And for that feature is available in RuPay Platinum and RuPay Select cards over there. And also in case of RuPay Platinum card, you get a comprehensive insurance coverage up to rupees 2 lakh over there, right? And RuPay Select is the most premium particular product of RuPay, right? That's particularly most premium product of RuPay. And further it's related to credit cards. Now RuPay credit cards are also available, and those are also available in different variants, like we are having the RuPay Classic credit card, RuPay Platinum credit card, RuPay Select credit cards, and also there can be the combo cards. Now combo cards is basically what, that the same card can be used as a debit card plus same card can be used as a credit card over there, right? So Union Bank actually has launched the RuPay combo debit cum credit card in November 2018. RuPay particularly combo card was issued by whom? By the Union Bank of India in 2018 over there. So the same card facilitates the transactions through a debit card or credit card using the same card over there, right? Now it's related to internationalization. So NPCI actually wanted that whatsoever the RuPay network we are using, we want that this particular system must be utilized in abroad transactions also. For that particular purpose, NPCI International Payment Limited, that is NIPL, signed a memorandum. So they basically signed a memorandum undertaking with the PPRO Financial. So that was basically signed by UK based PPRO Financial. So that what was that memorandum was all about, that we want to basically basically expand the acceptance of the RuPay card worldwide in the foreign markets also, especially in China and United States, so that our international transactions can also be going through the RuPay network itself, right? And that's the main fundamentality to internationalization. So we can simply say that NIPL, that is an NPCI International Payments Limited, they signed a memorandum with PPRO, okay, UK based PPRO Financial, right? Further, it's related to RuPay contactless. Now RuPay contactless, like we are having the NFC technology in RuPay contactless also, there's a particular Wi-Fi sign over there, and particularly when you tap it on the NFC, you basically you can make a payment over there, rather than basically swiping the card, or there need not to be any physical contact between the card and the POS machine over there, right? Further, it's related to RuPay Global. So NPCI basically started issuing the RuPay Global cards in 2014 over there, and actually Singapore offered the assistance for the same. That basically they also wanted that the India's digital payment network must also be coming for, and for the overseas that can also be usable, right? So it was becoming the first international partner. Singapore became the first international partner for the same, and on March 7, 2012, NPCI entered into a strategic partnership with DFS, that is Discover Financial Services. Now Discover is also a network over there which basically accepts the payment, and it's a international chain, international network over there, like Visa, MasterCard, etc. So Discover, there was a strategic partnership between the NPCI and for the DFS, that is the Discover Financial Services over there, which basically enabled the acceptance of RuPay global cards so as to utilize the Discover, Diner, Club International and Pulse networks. So it was already a established network. It was already a established network in the different countries, that is a Discover, Diner Club International and Pulse network. Now this particular network can be utilized for usage of the RuPay global cards, which basically NPA started issuing in 2014 over there, right? Further after that, it's related to BEPG, that is Bharat E-commerce Payment Gateway. Now what is e-commerce? E-commerce is actually related to platform where you can be buying the things or selling the things over there. Now these e-platform or e-commerce platform is actually a gateway over there. It's actually a gateway. Let's say case there is an online seller who is going to list the products, and they want the products to be purchased by the buyer's owner, right? So being a buyer, you basically visited the website and you basically wanted to purchase. Now after that, you will be actually navigated to some payment gateway from where the transaction can be cleared and can be made, right? So that's gateway is actually what? That is BEPG, that is a Bharat E-commerce Payment Gateway. So BEPG is new e-commerce system that actually enhances the current e-commerce experience for RuPay card holders. So if you're a RuPay card holder and you're going to pay online, so you can be using BEPG gateway, which will be channelized by the merchants on their websites, and RuPay card payments can be delivering a convenient and easy e-commerce experience without compromising security and risk. So your security is not compromised, you are basically safer enough, and further you can be using this BEPG so as to access it conveniently for online transactions. Further, it's related to Bharat QR. Now what is QR? QR code is basically a squared box, and further there are black square boxes which you can be scanning through some imaging device or some scanner over there, and it can be storing a lot of information. It can be storing a web link, it can be storing your ID, it can be storing your text or anything, etc. Right? So those can be accessed, and further those can be used for this purpose. And for this purpose, the main purpose of Bharat QR so as to making it payment friendly, right? Because we want to make payment like you basically visited a merchant, rather than basically entering the details of the merchant, you will be simply be scanning the QR code placed over there, and you can make payment directly from there, right? So it is developed by the NPCI in collaboration with the MasterCard and Visa, and as an integrated interoperable QR code based payment system that was launched in September 2016. So it was basically NPCI, Visa, MasterCard, so that we are having integrated interoperable QR code that is not related to that only can be used for the RuPay network, but if we want to basically make payment for the Visa or MasterCard, we can be using the same, right? So it facilitates the user to transfer their money from one source to another, that is from particularly from P2M purposes without the need of physical card or a POS terminal over there. So that's not required. Simply using the QR code, you can be making the payment for the same, right? So that was a funda related to it, and that was actually all about this particular video. I hope that you must have enjoyed the content of the video. So do like this video and do rate this video at the earliest, and further do share with your friends and colleagues who are preparing for JAIB 2024. You can also be referring your friends. For each of your friends who will be joining on your referral, you'll be getting rupees 20 as sign up bonus, and if they do purchase any pack, you can get up to rupees 500. So what are you waiting for? Just sign up on our website, that is jaib.learningsessions.in, and after sign up, just go to the referral section and just copy your referral code or referral link, or you can also be submitting the phone numbers of your friends and colleagues over there, and when once whoever will be sign up on the same, you'll be getting the benefit of the same, right? So that will be all. Thank you so much and see you again in the next video.